Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast with Kevin Harrington and Seth Greene. Kevin Harrington is the inventor of the infomercial, one of the original sharks from the hit TV show Shark Tank, and has generated over $5 billion in TV and digital direct response sales. Seth Greene is the world's first trusted authority on cutting-edge direct response marketing, a best-selling author, and the only 3-time Marketer of the Year nominee. On the podcast, Kevin and Seth interview sharkpreneurs who share straight talk on what it takes to explode your business.
49 faces looked to him in triumph. Over the last 12 months, they had each taken turns and promoted his business for a week at a time, driving over $987,342 in revenue. What if you had a network of 50 centers of influence who promoted your business every week for a year? Grab your copy of the #1 Amazon best-selling book, The Ultimate Guide to Growing Your Business with a Podcast, at 33% off the Amazon price by going to ultimatepodcastbook.com. Again, that website for 33% off the Amazon price is ultimatepodcastbook.com.
Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast. This is your co-host, Seth Greene. Today, I get the good fortune to flip the mic on my co-host, and I'll be interviewing the inventor of the infomercial and the original shark on the hit TV series Shark Tank, Kevin Harrington. Kevin, thanks so much for letting me flip the mic on you today.
Awesome, buddy. I'm excited. Hey, we've been doing this for many years, and it's fun to switch it up a little bit.
Absolutely. So you could have retired a long time ago. Why do you keep working at the pace that you do?
I'm working at a lot less pace now, but thank you, because for many years, I just love being an entrepreneur. When I was in high school, I was an entrepreneur. When I was in college, I was an entrepreneur. I'm a founder of the Entrepreneurs Organization. We're in 150 cities, 75 countries around the world. And I just love waking up in the morning and waiting for new things to happen. But after doing this, literally, I think I've worked 100-hour week for many years. I said to myself, semi-retirement is maybe a 20-hour week, okay? I think some weeks it's 40. It is what it is, but I'm enjoying much more golf. And I'll tell you this is the reality. 50 years I've been an entrepreneur. And so I've made more than 100 people millionaires, multimillionaires. Some have made more than 10 million. Some have made more than 20 million, 50 million from me. And so people keep bringing me their ideas, their projects, because they know that if I get involved, it might have a chance to be successful. So, Seth, I still get 1,000 pitches a month to this day, with or without me doing anything. So my son and his team have taken over really the running of all of this. And my son's been with me for 15 years out of college, and he's an awesome young entrepreneur himself now. And so it's worked out very nicely.
You've taken probably hundreds of thousands of pitches over your career to this point. What gets you excited?
And what excites me, for example, recently I took a pitch a year ago. The guy had artificial intelligence for telemarketing. And I've been doing telemarketing for 50 years. This is now, and we were always limited with how many operators could take those calls. He can take 250,000 calls simultaneously because it's machine oriented. And so they've reduced the latency and it's humanized. It sounds like you're talking to a human. Literally, you can talk to a machine for 20 minutes and not realize it. So I got involved. I joined the board. I invested. I'm in the deal. I like new things, new excitement, new ways to do things. We're going to see tremendous changes happening in the market. Artificial intelligence is only at the tip of the iceberg of where it's going to be. So this is one category to stay focused on.
Absolutely. If you have a routine that starts your morning off, what is it?
So I like to get up early. I don't go to bed late, so I don't sleep late. I'm up before 6 o'clock usually, and I have a routine. I have a home gym. If I'm home, I'm in my gym. If I'm on the road, I'll use the gym, or at a condo, at the beach, I have a gym. So 5-6 days a week. It's not an hour or two in the gym. It's 30 minutes just getting the blood flowing, feeling good, getting rid of the cobwebs. Then I get into a little breakfast, I start my morning reading. I read many. I used to read 5 newspapers a day. Now I'm reading dozens of websites. Literally forget the newspapers. I'm done. And it's all internet now. But so I want to feel good. I want to get some nutrition in me, and I want to get a knowledge on what's going on in the day in the financial markets. Because sometimes you got to make some moves with your investments. So I review the financial markets first thing, and then I generally have a slow start to my day, and then I start mid-morning. I'll start doing some Zooms and a few calls. But I only do this 2 or 3 days a week. I'm playing golf 2 or 3 days a week and enjoying life and really pushing most of the real hard stuff towards my son and his team.
You have your finger in a lot of pies. Can you tell us about the different pillars of the Kevin Harrington empire?
Good question. I think I'll start by saying being on Shark Tank, I did 150 plus segments. I invested in a lot of deals. Some of the deals worked, some of them didn't, but so I have my Shark Tank investments, and there's still a few of those laying around. I have my As Seen on TV investments. We did over 1,000 infomercials from the Jacqueline Juicer, Tony Little Fitness, George Foreman. So I'm still dealing with relationships and some of the things that happened from that. And by the way, when we talk about Shark Tank, one of the things I did get involved with was Scrub Daddy, which is still continuing to sell and generating profits for us. Other sharks got involved with that too, but we ended up with certain rights and certain things, and that can be an awesome situation. So now, moving forward in my reduced activity level on a daily basis, what's interesting, I joined a couple country clubs, and you know what's happened there? Deal flow, okay? I just did a member guest, and that's that guy from Shark Tank. I'm getting 6, 8 deals pitched to me now from just going to the golf course. So the bottom line, Seth, I think I've made over the years over 1,000 investments. I'm monitoring about 50 of those still. Many of those we cashed out already. Some we lost money on already. You know what I mean? That's what happens. But I'm overseeing my investments. I'm looking at new deals to invest in. And we run a consulting business, so we advise and consult probably about 30 or 40 clients also.
At your level of success, I would imagine it's more important what you say no to than what you say yes to. What are the criteria you use to, make decisions and evaluate opportunities?
Yeah, in the old days, and you hit the nail on the head, it's easy to say yes to a lot of things. On Shark Tank, I couldn't take every deal. I would say no to 2/3 of the deal. And you know what some of those people would come back and say, look, I don't even need your money. I just want you to be involved. I'll give you the equity. But guess what? We took equity from people like this, and they called every single week, and they wanted 2 hours of my time. And were they sending me any checks? Oh, there was no profit. There was not going to be any distribution for 2 years. I could be on a weekly call with no money, no upside. So the most important thing that we did was decide what deals make sense, what deals don't. We look for companies that have, this is one of the key things. Do they have some sales? And that's important, but have they identified a customer acquisition cost such that we can ramp the company up? So I'm more about scaling businesses than starting them up, because startups require sometimes years and massive amounts of capital, whereas once they've started and now they're scaling, we can use less capital, less risky capital to expand the business. So that's really my bread and butter, is more scaling opportunities than startup opportunities today.
That makes a lot of sense. Your origin story, how you got started, how you got to be so successful, has been written about many times in media coverage all over the planet. Can you tell us about a recent adversity you overcame and what you learned from it?
One of the things that when you own equity in 50 plus companies, that they're not all doing well on a weekly basis. Okay. On a weekly basis, I don't get the phone calls from the guys that are crushing it saying, sometimes they do, yes. They generally just do business, and they're successful and running on like clockwork. It's the calls from those that are having some problems that I get on a regular basis. And these are cash flow issues. These are customer acquisition issues. These don't have enough capital. They haven't identified their true customer. They're not getting a lifetime value that's high enough. So there's a lot of things that I have to look at on a week-to-week basis. And this is one of the reasons why I've slowed up also investing in some deals, because there's no shortage of deals to invest in, but there is a shortage of time that I have to manage those. And I'm already really at the tip of my charts at this point with the amount of stuff that I'm doing. So I think the bottom line is something is very unique and has great upside. We're still going to take a look and we still may invest, but pretty much managing a lot of the things that we are involved with is some of these are really solid businesses that are just clicking along, building week by week, month by month. Give you an example. One of the companies I invested in about 5 years ago is a roofing company. And today it now has over 400 dealers around the country. We're now in the process of looking at selling to private equity. And these are awesome opportunities because we're looking for like 100x our return kind of thing. So that's the kind of business that I'm still interested in and still investing in and still involved in.
Your passion is obvious. What do you like best about what you're doing?
What I like best is I don't consider it work. Like people say, how many hours a week do you work? I don't really show up, okay? It's whether I'm speaking at an event or going to an awesome thing. One of the things that we started doing, Seth, which is really cool, spend a day with the shark. This is one day a month. We allow about 10 or 12 companies to come down, spend a day hanging out with my top people, my son, my digital marketing experts, etc., myself, and we help, we advise, we consult, with everybody walks away with a huge warm and fuzzy. And this is something that's near and dear to me also. So I just love helping entrepreneurs, and it just doesn't feel like work, and love doing what I do. And by the way, what we've been doing for many years, this podcast, we're reaching many people, and we know that we're touching a lot of hearts, and really have enjoyed doing this with you over the years, Seth, also.
Thank you very much. You made my day. I've learned a ton from all of it gets at least like 10 years of episodes we've done together. We'll certainly do something special for our next big round number, whether that's 1,400 or 1,500 or whatever it's been. So thanks for letting me flip the mic on you, and I will see you next time.
Awesome. Good job, buddy. It was a great little session, and I like how we twisted it around a little bit, but this is good. Good seeing you. I'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching or listening. We'll talk to you or see you next time.
Why do so many businesses struggle while others seem to explode overnight? Do you wish you had the secret to this type of exponential growth? Now, I've scaled more than 20 businesses to over $100 million, and it's not just luck. In my new book with Mark Tim, Mentor to Millions, you'll learn the repeatable framework I use in all my business ventures for massive success. Order at kevinmentor.com and get over $1,000 in bonuses. Head to kevinmentor.com.